This is the terrain of the former Danzig Matzkau camp. I think it's pretty difficult to work out where it was, but I think this is it. There's certain parts of it I seem to recognize from a few photographs that there is, such as this bit that shouldn't incline down there and the more gentle incline on the other side. So this land here, it was bought by the Senate of the Free City of Danzig in May of 1939, and the idea was to put some kind of recreational facility up here. Now in those days there wasn't anybody around, but if we bring the camera around here, you can see there's over there we've got new housing areas, and at the top of the hill over there as well. But so this was really out in the countryside in those days, but relatively a short distance, almost walking distance I would say. Anyway, I came here by bike from the centre where I'm staying without any problem. Himmler came to Gdańsk in July of 1939, and he decided that more troops were needed for the Free City, and the more troops were the SS Heimwehr Danzig, and there'll be a link below to what I did on SS Heimwehr Danzig. Now they never got actually really to be stationed there. If they did, it wasn't for very long. The war broke out. Heimwehr Danzig was involved in fighting Polish units in this area, such as at the post office in the centre of Gdańsk, also at Gdynia. But on the 17th of October 1939, it was moved into the 3rd SS Totenkopf Panzer Division. And meanwhile, for the construction of this camp, prisoners were brought in from Stutthof. So it became a sub-camp of Stutthof, and it was pretty difficult. The conditions were awful inside. People having to sleep on straw. Maybe they were lucky they got some empty sacks or something like this. This led to disease, particularly louse-borne disease, and it was also quite strictly guarded. But there was one person, I think it was December of 39, he was a priest from a seminary in Pelplin, and Pelplin, I can't remember. Anyway, he got out. I'll write it down below. He got out. Now, here was meant to be a barracks for 2,000 troops. That was the original idea, and even lots of facilities around it. So what were to be the barracks, though, weren't used by the prisoners. The prisoners had really tough conditions. Then, because of the policy of Himmler's, of exchanging peoples, moving them around, so the Heim ins Reich, home in the Reich policy of getting German speakers, ethnic Germans if you like, from above the Baltic states, but also parts of Poland occupied, eastern Poland occupied by the Soviet Union, this exchange, and these people were sent here. They stayed here for a while, and then they were moved to other places. Above the Warthegau, that is the Vaterland, the territories alongside the River Warta, but also sometimes even moved to other places. But they were just moved to places they weren't seen to be good enough to take them to the Altreich, the Old Reich, but just in those territories occupied by Nazi Germany and annexed Nazi Germany after the Polish campaign. Then what happened was this. Once there was the attack on the Soviet Union, there weren't so many people coming, but they still came, but there weren't so many, and therefore this terrain here, this land here, there was a camp, and it became a punishment camp for the SS. Now, the SS until around 1938 had the same courts as the German Wehrmacht, but Himmler wanted something special for them, so state within a state, and therefore they got a special SS camp, which was here. And this camp, in fact, a large part of the camp was down there. I'm not going down there at the moment because I noticed they were doing work down there and I'm not dressed for it, but I can give you a quick look at it. There you go. Now I don't know if there are still bunkers and things around here, because there were, not well, 20 years ago there were. There's some on the internet. I'll give you a link if you're interested. Anyway, so this special camp, so they got to do 10 hours a day work, probably under unpleasant circumstances, 2 hours a day they drill, and then they could spend here 6, 8, 9, 10 months. They were sent here for crimes such as, it could be disobedience, for example, it could be theft, it could be sort of honour offences like having sexual relations with a Jewish person, probably forced, rape, that's to say, some things of this nature. Of course, disobeying orders could carry a death sentence, as could many other things as well. Now, when De Levanger was recruiting for his unit, a large number of people came from here. There was an SS parachute unit which was recruited amongst people here, and so those in Warsaw, above all, for example, towards the end of the campaign especially, the replacements for De Levanger's unit came from here, from this camp. Right, after the war it was used by the Soviets and Poles for keeping Germans in this time, ethnic Germans, people suspected of being up to no good in the Nazi period. Best bear in mind, of course, that a large part of the German population, just about everybody, was expelled and Poles were brought in, but those Poles themselves have been expelled from somewhere because that's where Soviet imperialism worked. And that is, rather quickly, the story of the Matzkau, Danzig Matzkau penal camp. Got some stones here as well, some bricks as well. And I don't know how old the bricks would be, unless sometimes you can actually recognise them as things. Actually, once I found a brick in Treblinka, and that was clearly pre-war because of the name of the manufacturer on it. And if I've just picked a brick up, but none seem to have anything written on them, so I don't know how long these things have been here. I mean, that one there even looks like socialist era. Anyway, I think I might come back in. I might not. I might come back in the winter when it'll be a bit easier to do this sort of thing if there's no snow. So I hope you found it interesting. Thanks very much for watching. I upload every Tuesday and every Friday at 2000 hours my time. I'm based in Poland and in Germany, so if you're interested in real research-based history, then you might want to watch this channel. But for the moment, all the best from me in Poland. Bye for now.